Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving deep to decode the secret psychology and evolutionary biology behind why your dog spins in circles before lying down. You know the exact move I'm talking about, right? Picture it. It's the end of a long day, your dog steps onto their bed, and instead of just flopping down, they perform this bizarre little ritual. One, two, maybe three spins. You probably think it's just a funny quirk to get comfortable, kind of like fluffing a pillow. But there is actually a massive hidden instinct driving this behavior.
To really get this, let's start by contrasting the absolute luxury of your living room with the harsh, vulnerable reality of the ancient wild. Think about your dog's current setup. They've got a perfectly soft modern bed, maybe it's even memory foam, sitting safely in a nice, climate-controlled house. But their ancestors? They were dealing with tall grass, brutal temperatures, and hidden predators. To understand the spin, we have to travel back to a time when going to sleep was literally the most vulnerable, dangerous thing a canine could do. And here is where it gets crazy. This quirky little bedtime routine, it is an incredible 15,000-year-old survival program that is still actively running in your dog's DNA. Just let that number sink in for a second. 15,000 years. This isn't just some silly habit they picked up as a puppy. This is a profound evolutionary instinct that kept their wild ancestors alive in some of the most unforgiving environments on the planet. When your dog spins today, they're executing a deeply ingrained survival sequence. Layer 1, the snake sweep. Let's peel back the very first layer of this mystery, which deals entirely with physical security and vulnerability. What's absolutely fascinating is the precise methodology happening here. When your dog circles, they're instinctively mimicking the snake sweep. This was a methodical process wild canines used to flatten out their environment and drive away dangerous pests. Step 1, they spin to trample down the tall grass or heavy snow. And that heavy spinning step leads to step 2, evicting any hidden snakes, scorpions, or large insects lurking in the brush. Finally, step 3, they've successfully created a flat, stable, and safe surface to actually sleep on. Which brings us to the amazing irony of our modern pets. They are fiercely clearing the perimeter in a completely snake-free living room. I mean, there are absolutely no scorpions under your coffee table, but your dog's brain still demands this high-stakes safety check before they can close their eyes. Their genetics are literally screaming at them to secure the area, just in case. It's such a brilliant example of biology completely overriding logic.
Layer 2, temperature and territory. Now let's look at the second layer, which explains why you might also catch your dog frantically scratching and digging at their blankets during that spin.
In the wild, this digging was a brilliant climate control tactic. Think of the ancient canine as its own built-in thermostat. On those blisteringly hot days, they'd spin and dig to scrape away the hot, sun-baked topsoil so they could reach the cooler, damp dirt underneath. And on freezing winter nights, that exact same spinning and digging motion let them carve out a deep, insulated nest to trap their body heat. So when your pup is pawing at a fleece blanket, they're instinctively trying to regulate the temperature of their sleeping space. But it's not just about the temperature. The physical action of stepping in tight circles actually activates specialized scent glands located right in the pads of their feet. When they press down and spin, those glands release invisible pheromones all over the area. It's an incredible biological mechanism that literally turns their physical movement into a potent chemical signature. By doing this, they're essentially hanging up a giant invisible do not disturb sign for any passing animals. Out in the wild, a good sleeping spot was prime real estate, and an uninvited guest could easily wander in. Pumping out those pheromones creates a chemical boundary that tells the rest of the world, hey, this space is claimed. And honestly, even if they're the only pet in your house, that instinct to claim their sanctuary is just too overpowering to ignore. Layer 3, the magnetic twist. All right, this brings us to the most mind-blowing part of the explainer, revealing a recent scientific twist about what your dog's spin actually aligns with. Researchers now believe that the circling is actually a way for dogs to tap into the Earth itself, helping them align with the planet's north-south magnetic axis. For years, we thought the spin was purely physical, dealing with grass, pests, and dirt. But recent studies show dogs actually have a sensitivity to the Earth's magnetic fields. We've seen this documented when they go to the bathroom, but behaviorists strongly suspect this pre-sleep spin serves the exact same calibrating purpose. So the spin is literally their way of finding that perfect invisible magnetic orientation so they can feel profoundly grounded and safe before drifting off. Imagine having an internal compass that lets you know when your body is perfectly in harmony with the planet's magnetic pole.
When your dog spins around and finally stops to lay down, it's very likely because their internal sensor just clicked into place. They found the alignment that tells their nervous system it's safe to power down.
The 15,000-year echo. Let's bring this 15,000-year echo all the way back to the present day, connecting these intense, wild survival instincts to the pampered pet in your home. Ultimately, by spinning, flattening, and marking, your dog is listening to ancient voices to turn their memory foam bed into the ultimate secure sanctuary. It really changes how you look at them, doesn't it? They aren't just being fussy about their blankets. They're clearing out imaginary snakes, regulating microclimates, establishing a protective pheromone perimeter, and aligning their bodies with the magnetic axis of the Earth, all on a dog bed you ordered online. It's a beautiful tribute to a survival instinct that kept their species alive for millennia. So the next time your dog gets ready for bed, I want you to watch them closely. Ask yourself, do they spin left, right, or both? Are they a quick one-spin wonder, or do they really take their time calibrating that internal compass? Pay attention to this ancient ritual happening right there in your living room. It's an awesome daily reminder of the wild roots living inside our best friends. Keep observing, stay curious, and thank you so much for joining me on this explainer.